Yo, what's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint.
Melton the Manimal.
We're here with the Valiant Deluxe Edition hardcover read-through, Act 2, Part 1. Stick around. Alright, y'all, so Act 2, Part 1, 6 books, really kind of 5.
Yeah, some of them are really short, like this Dr. Mirage and Ivar were just like 12 issues or so.
Well, not even that. So the first book is this is Armor Hunters, which is an event that crosses over multiple books.
Right.
But the entire Exo Man of War Volume 3
that's right,
is collected in this book.
Yeah, and so
That's kind of weird.
Our chronological order wasn't great. This act, we had like kind of read some stuff before, and then you kind of caught up with it in later volumes, so it wasn't perfect.
Yeah, I think even this one, does it have... One of them has like Unity 25, and we've read like Unity 1 through 4, and then there's Unity the book that has those and other things. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, you have... Doesn't Armor Hunters have Unity 1 through 4?
No, I think it was something else. Oh. Nah, yeah, Unity 8 through 11.
8 through 11, yeah.
So it kind of jumps around, but honestly, like,
I
still read it, and it's really a self-contained Unity story that you don't really need to have read that. We read 1 through 4 in Act 1.
Right, that was in the Armor Wars.
Armor Wars.
That's right.
No. Harbinger Wars.
Harbinger Wars.
Right? So anyway, I really dug the shit out of Armor Hunters. Exo Man of War is definitely my favorite thing about the Valiant universe. Not so much for you, but that's okay.
It's gotten better, though.
I love it.
I like him better. I think he's better as a character when he's part of Unity or when he's interacting with the team of Unity. And I'm a real big Livewire fan. I love Livewire. I love Eternal Warrior.
Yep.
I love Ninjak.
Yes.
I like that whole team.
I can't wait till we read the whole Ninjak books.
Yeah.
So basically with Armor Hunters, so Eric of Dacia, right? He's basically like Thor with the Iron Man suit. But the Iron Man suit is more like a symbiote that is like self-aware.
Yeah, so you get a little backstory about it where there's these armors all over the place, and supposedly they're kind of like corrupting the users, the people who wear them, and then they end up destroying whole worlds. So there's like a group of people out there hunting down these armors. The
Armor Hunters, and they're badass. They're very hard to kill. And they explain the armor as like a virus.
Yeah.
And that it infects the user and takes over. And but did they ever say what's the armor's agenda?
No, and they never really do. But they're very cold and calculating. You know, their members die all the time. Basically, they go up against one armor and lose half the team, and that's just like knowing it.
And they're constantly getting new recruits, knowing that like 9 out of 10 of them are gonna die.
And how about their spaceship being like a big robot?
That's pretty dope. Cool. So when does that come into play with the whole Mexico City thing? Maybe we should. You know, we're not gonna give spoilers, but does that happen in Harbinger?
No, that's in Armor Hunters.
Anyway, it's on the cover. This big beast. It's crazy, and it's
Ginger,
and it's actually a species as well.
Yeah, and
cool, man.
Eventually ends up joining the Unity team also,
and it becomes like a headquarters.
Yeah, kind of like
Did
a
you see
mobile.
that?
Yeah, it's dope.
That was cool, and that beast. You know, I don't want to give any spoilers, but powerful as hell, and it's pretty cool. And I loved Armor Hunters. I read a lot of this on the plane on the way to Las Vegas, I think.
Yeah,
when we went there. But I love Armor Hunters. It was a good tie-in because it also has. I guess we'll talk about it with collects. Armor Hunters 1 through 4. Then it has Armor Hunters Aftermath 1. Then there's the Armor Hunters Bloodshot 1 through 3. Armor Hunters Harbinger 1 through 3. Unity 8 through 11. Then Exo Man of War 23 through 29.
And actually, this should have been read probably after Harbinger Volume 2. Because you get the Generation 0 kids are free in that. Okay. And that's like kind of what talks about them.
So yeah, Exo Man of War Volume 3 collects Exo 23 through 29 and Armor Hunters 1 through 4. So
double dip a little bit.
You double dip quite a bit in these deluxe edition hardcovers, man, which kind of sucks. But whatever.
So
you want to talk about Harbinger? Yeah, you could speak on Harbinger Volume 2.
So Harbinger Volume 2, I'll just tell you what it collects real quick. It's 15 through 25. Harbinger Omegas 1 through 3, and Harbinger Bleeding Monk 0.
Well, let me see how good I do on this.
Yeah.
So this is after the war at Las Vegas, which was Harbinger Wars, right? And basically you have Peter and his crew are
the Renegades.
The Renegades, and they're on their own. And it has Faith, which is Zephyr. Nobody ever calls her Zephyr.
Yeah, not really.
Livewire's part of it?
No.
All right, I lost it already. Go ahead.
So basically, it's just the team and the Renegades, and they're kind of going around. And this whole book is really based on Peter versus Toyo Harada.
Right.
And so they go up against Toyo. They lose a team member. The team kind of breaks apart.
That's what happens, right?
And
Faith and Torque go on their own.
Right. Peter kind of does his own thing, and then it's really like towards the end, Harbinger Omega's little mini-series 1 through 3 is basically Peter versus Toyo Harada and how they can destroy the world together almost.
Right.
They're so powerful. But there is the Bleeding Monk issue, which gives you a little background story on the Bleeding Monk.
I was thinking about you when I was reading it, because I know you were kind of looking forward to that. What did you think about the Bleeding Monk?
It didn't give me as much as I wanted.
It didn't live up to the hype, yeah.
But it was okay. It was cool.
So Harbinger, to me, I know you really like it. It's very X-Men type of book, and I just didn't like it. There's too many characters. Although I do like the rejects that we'll talk about, and is it the next one?
Yeah, because I haven't got to that yet.
What is that book even called? The Valiant, or no?
Secret Weapons.
Secret Weapons. Yeah, we'll get to that next time.
Yeah, I like Harbinger a lot. It might be my favorite. I really like Toyo Harada. I wish they'd do more with Peter.
They kind of...
His character's kind of flat, I feel like.
They kind of downplayed Harada, I think, in the end of this book, no? I mean, he was powerful as hell.
Well, he basically comes out and the whole world knows who he is now.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has to operate underground now. He can't be, like, the head of the CEO.
He took over, like, a country in Africa as, like, his HQ.
Right.
Yeah. So it was cool.
So, anyway.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
So then we got Unity. So Unity is basically the Valiant's Avengers team. I mean, it's their first, like, superhero team. They come together originally to fight Exo Manowar when he takes over... What's it called? What's the country he takes over? Romania.
Was it Romania?
Yeah.
No, it was...
Yeah, it's Romania. So
I like how they describe Unity as always being around, kind of like Avengers, and that it was originally Unit Y back in, like, Nam or some shit.
Yeah, like World War II and stuff like that. So this collects Unity 0 through 14 and Harbinger Faith 0 issue.
So in that Faith 0 issue, it double dips in the Faith hardcover later, which is only 5 issues to begin with.
Really?
So anyway, Unity is Ninjak, Livewire,
Eternal Warrior.
Galad, what's his name?
Galad, yeah.
And is this Harada?
That's Harada.
He's part of Unity?
In the first issue when they go up against Manowar a little bit. He kind of puts them together.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that a little bit. I remember enjoying Unity. So it collects 0 through 14, right? So like 1 through 4 is like part of Act 1 almost. Then you have 5 through like 8, which is its own self-contained thing. That's the only thing that we hadn't read in this already, because everything else was double dipped.
Right, then the rest is in the...
8 and 11 is Armor Hunters, and then I think 12 through 14 was more about Ginger, was it?
I can't remember. And it's when Faith joins the team also.
Faith joins the team, and it's short-lived, right? And yeah, so they're basically like super violent too, right? Like that's what Faith didn't like about them.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, it's very much Avenger-esque.
Yeah.
Exo Manowar's kind of part of the team. He's not really. He's just so powerful. He shows up when he wants to.
They're like, look, just call me for the big stuff. I don't got time for every little thing y'all do. But yeah, all right. Unity was all right.
So next we got the death-defying Dr. Mirage.
Way different than what I thought it was going to be.
Yo, so I didn't see this. Best of 2015, Best Comic Miniseries winner. IGN.
So it was all right. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's kind of like a derivative of the Shadow Man books, but it really, the only thing was similar was the Dead Zone, basically the afterlife.
Right.
And it's really like the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
A little bit, yeah.
Right? Like, she can talk to ghosts, but nobody else can see them or hear the ghosts, only her.
Yeah, so her thing is she showed up in Shadow Man Volume 1.
I don't even remember that.
And she's a medium, basically. And yeah, like Jem said, she's kind of like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, where she can... she sees the spirits, and she does... But she's also, like, in the public eye. Like, she has a television show. Her and her husband had a television show together.
He dies.
He died, and... So this book is actually broken up into 2 miniseries.
It was funny. I liked the first miniseries. You liked the second one.
Yeah.
And the first one has to deal with her going into the afterlife. She's on this mission to find her husband because he's not around.
Yeah, his soul is like trapped in the dead zone.
And there's this cool villain, I think. What was his name in there? It was like Ivros, I think. Damn, I can't believe I remember that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he was. I got a homeboy named Ivor, so I thought, and he looks like him too. No. Anyway, I'll throw a picture up. Anyway, I thought that storyline was cool, and it was a lot of like. in the afterlife, how do you get around? A lot of bargaining and trading items. Like, you have to have, like...
That was kind of a cool idea.
Right, like baby teeth in order to cross. I mean, something similar to that. I don't remember what it was.
And then the second part is she now has her husband's spirit back, and she's trying to actually bring him back to his body. And they're kind of caught up with some cult and some dude who's, like, sacrificing women, right, or something.
So, I don't even remember. All I remember is that they're trying to hire a replacement actor for her husband for her talk show.
Right.
And he's, like, trying to get into the role, and she brings him around for the ride, and he ends up being cool.
It's pretty good. I liked it.
I didn't love it, but it wasn't the worst one that I read so far.
For sure, same.
So, speaking of wasn't the worst one, Ivar Time Walker is probably my favorite book that we've read so far.
Wow.
And I don't he didn't like it as much.
I didn't dislike it. I just I don't know. It seemed like you know what's funny is you hate like hijinks and stuff, and I felt like it was a bit of a hijinks book.
No, Quantum and Woody in their antics, not hijinks. Same thing though. Quantum and Woody is antics. To me, Ivar, we meet the third Anapati brother. Is that how you say it?
Anapati?
Yes. Anapati.
Yeah.
So Armstrong, you have Eternal Warrior Galad, and now you got Ivar. And you always heard about Ivar and how he's a time traveler. You know, you don't know where he is.
I do like that. I like those characters, and I like to see them all interact together, the three brothers.
I like that. I like the fact... damn, what was I going to say? Hold on, real quick. I lost it.
You were a fan of the female lead.
But I was gonna talk about that in a second. I like the fact... I don't know. I lost it. But what I did like, though, is the mythos that they placed in there surrounding time travel and how the universe won't let you change stuff. So no matter how many times you go back, like, freaking, you'll slip trying to save the person that died.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, the lead, what's her name? Neela?
Neela, yeah.
Neela was the dope lead. She is about to create time travel when Ivar comes to stop her, which is like a paradox in itself, right? And a lot of cool stuff happens with the future, her
and him,
and she becomes evil, but then everything comes full circle.
Everything does come full circle.
I think what I wanted to say was it's really well written.
It was well. You're right.
It's a well-written story, right? And when you first dropped it on me, you're like, it's more of a love story. I guess it is, but the way that they made everything come full circle, I thought it was really well-written, and it was interesting. I breezed through it.
So this collects Ivar Time Walker 1 through 12. Let's talk about the jacked up issue in here.
So we got screwed. You want to show it?
Yeah.
So
or you're gonna show it as a like.
No, maybe we'll see. So, issue 2 all of a sudden gets like some manufacturing error and starts reprinting pages from issue 1, and then it becomes unreadable. So, did you still try to read it as best as you could?
I did.
Me too.
Yeah.
So we lost a couple of pages of issue 2 where we couldn't really make it out.
Yeah, it's all like a little blurry there. I don't know how well you guys can see it.
It's funny that even with that, I still really enjoyed the story a lot.
And it was kind of like a Hitler story, too. Wasn't that that was the issue where he goes back to kill Hitler?
Yeah, it's funny. It's like they go into the room and there's like 40 time travelers. Like, everybody wants to go back to kill Hitler. That's like the biggest time traveler's goal. But then some of them are like, no, we're not really here to kill him. We're just here to, I don't know, poison his drink or do something stupid. Like,
right.
I don't know. There was a little bit of an antic. Going into prehistoric times with some antics. But I like how they go to prehistoric times and they can't breathe. And they're like, air is 35% here.
Because there's no plants and whatnot, yeah.
Well, they go to that, and then they go to the prehistoric times, and it's like, that's why dinosaurs can grow so big, because there was more oxygen, so they were able to grow more massive. So when they go there, it's like they can't really breathe. It was a lot like that time travel, what's that movie? The time traveler movie? Where they go in the time machine.
Oh, with...
the remake one that was like already 10 years old or 20 years old.
So should we talk about... Two things we should maybe talk about. Should we maybe do cover prices on these at all? Which we don't have to. But should we talk about the art at all?
The art?
Yeah. I feel like... So we're not big art guys. So we don't really notice it.
We're both more driven by story.
The Dr. Mirage was different art.
Yeah,
sure.
Very artsy, painted. Like, to me, all the Valiant books have modern, decent art. None of it is like unbearable. Of anything, this was probably the most out there.
Yeah, that was the most different art for sure.
But the story was good in this one. It kept me going. See, art only matters to me when the story sucks.
Right. If the story sucks and the art's still good, you can power through.
I can power through. But if the art sucks and the story sucks, I'm out.
It's a game over.
But if the art can suck, if the writing is good, I'm in. Like, I just want to know what happens. So overall, looking at these books, It was a good Act 2, Part 1. I really had one of my favorite books. I loved Armor Hunters. I love Exo Manowar. Man, when we talk about Part 2, loving that run, man. Dr. Mirage is cool, but we got a lot of good stuff coming up, man. I hear Bloodshot Reborn is off the chain, Ninjak.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that I've kind of been waiting to read about, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it gets like, I think we move out of some of the characters we've been focusing on for a while.
We finally get Rai. So, you know, did you notice in here, they went to like 4001 AD?
Yeah, and I knew that's a book.
And I know that's where Rai takes place, and it's a book. So it was kind of cool, like, it's dropping you Easter eggs on what's to come. Ivar is a dope book, man. I was gonna try to get one on Amazon real quick to not get a manufacturing error, but I was just like, I forget it.
Oh, it was just that one issue.
Yeah,
it wasn't too big of a deal.
All right, so again, I'm super happy that we're doing this. We're almost done.
I'd actually be interested if anyone did pick up Ivar. Let us know if you had the same problem.
That's true.
Yeah, if you had that same issue with that issue too.
We're both a little bit valianted out because we want to read other things, but at this point, like, I'm pretty much done with Act 2, Part 2. And then Act 3, it looks like it's a quick read for us.
We'll finish it fast.
We'll knock it out. I mean, we've got to power through, even though I'm having a good time. But let us know what you think. If you read any of these, are you following along with us? I know a couple guys are. Hit the like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel for more recent reads for our summer event. We're going to knock this out during...
we'll be done before summer, yeah.
Our summer event. You got anything?
No. Thanks for tuning in and watching.
Yeah, a lot of these cover prices, I know we didn't really talk about it. They're like $40 to $50. The new ones I get off InStockTrades.com. It's usually like 35% off.
Yeah.
So a lot of them I had to go to my local comic shop to grab and or get them off Amazon.
They typically have about 12 books and 12 issues in each book.
Some are really thin. Like Part 2 of this is like
I'm interested in those
3
cover prices.
Yeah, I think they're cheap. They got to be cheaper. Well, yeah, we'll see. All right, thanks for rocking with us. Y'all stay minty. Peace.
Who